So your book in the chapter in section 3, the book introduces the idea of electric dipoles, minus q, plus q, and some distance d between. So we define the dipole moment as qd in that direction right there, okay, from minus to plus. Okay. And then starting chapters 4, the section 4 and 5, it does some complicated kinds of integrals, which we'll be doing. But I'm going to skip ahead to section 7. Because when you talk about dipoles, it really makes sense to say what happens if you have a dipole in an electric field. Okay, so you have an electric field, and we have a negative charge, we have a positive charge, and they're stuck together. I mean, we're assuming we're not pulling our dipole apart. You can pull a dipole apart, but we're assuming we're not just for the moment. And so what's going to happen is there's going to be a force on one, a force on the other in the opposite direction, and you're going to end up torquing your dipole. And so that's what we're going to talk about now. We're actually going to skip ahead to section 7 of the book and talk about the torque on a dipole. Okay, so let's imagine here a dipole. So here's the electric field, and I'm going to have a dipole in here. Here's my minus q, here's my plus q, and there they are, some distance d away from each other. And so I know that the dipole moment is going to be in that direction like that. Okay. And so if I imagine here the midpoint, so if I say my two charges symmetric, the center of mass is the middle. So I'm going to define some quantity A, which is d over 2. That's the distance from the center point. And so we know there's going to be a force right here. That force is going to be Q times E. There's going to be a force on this direction, QE. Okay, the minus sign means it's in opposite directions. Okay, so torque. Okay, we know from physics 1 that torque equals R cross F. Okay, so what does R cross F mean? That means R times F times sine theta, and the direction of that is going to be perpendicular to both R and to both F, and the direction was to be determined by the right-hand rule. Okay, so let's imagine applying this to our situation here. We have an electric field like that. We've got our negative charge right there. We've got a positive charge up here somewhere, and there's my D between the two. Okay, and so I'm going to define A and A, okay, where A is D over 2, okay, to the midpoint. And so that means if my upper charge up here, I have a force QE like that, force QE down here, okay, so that's my forces, okay. The force is going to be, for the lower charge, the force is opposite the direction of the electric field because of the minus sign right here. All right, so the torque we know is R cross F, okay, so the magnitude of that is RF sine theta, okay. So that means the torque to the top one up here is going to be, the R is A, so A times QE sine theta. Okay, where that theta is right there. Okay, we have theta over here, so the torque to the bottom one is AQE sine theta. What about direction? Right-hand rule says that R is this way, E is that way, so right-hand rule is into the screen. So you know from physics 1, you put your thumb in the direction of the torque, your fingers curl, if you use the right-hand rule, your fingers curl in direction it wants to rotate, so it's trying to rotate in that fashion. Likewise, for the other one, right-hand rule is the same. So both torques are in the same direction. So that means the total torque is going to be torque 1 plus torque 2. So that's going to be A times QE sine theta plus A QE sine theta. So the total torque is 2A QE sine theta. That's going to be equal to D QE sine theta. Well, the torque is going to be P times E times sine theta, because we know the dipole moment is equal to D times Q. That's not derivative, that's D times Q. And so now the interesting thing is, think about this, that total torque was into the screen. But if that's minus Q, and if that's Q, we know that the dipole moment is going to be Q times D, the magnitude of it, and the direction of the dipole moment is from minus to plus. Okay, well, wait a minute. What would happen if we had P cross E? Well, that would be PE sine theta. What direction would it be? It would be into the screen. So we could say the total torque on the dipole is going to be given by P cross E. Okay. And so this is one reason that we like these dipole moments, is it makes calculating the torque on the dipole very, very easy.